Here we are continuing with the tiger stance stretching exercises. It's important to get a good stretch every morning. This is very important also before you practice any forms. The forward bend and the tiger stretch are the two most important stretches I recommend doing before any forms. So again, we're picking up with this part. You bring your head down as far as you can and angle your body, twisting towards the straight leg. This is another way to do it, holding the foot and reaching over, twisting your spine, reaching towards the other foot. I actually have seen children that were able to grab their other toe. Wish I was that flexible. But I'm actually just now getting deeper into my flexibility training and strength training, so my goal is within a year to be able to have that kind of flexibility that I've always wanted. Never really trained for. Was always just more focused on forms, but this is so important. I just want you to have a better experience, and yeah, you'll just be much better off with starting your flexibility and strength training exercises earlier. This is another way to do it. You can hold the front toe and the rear toe, bend your head down, and reach over, and then also pulling the heel up. That's a way to do it. Get a deep twist. It's a good way. Bring the head down, try to touch the ground, stretch the back. See? And this is the other way, pulling the toe up, stretching the hamstring in a different way. And just hold it as long as you can. Really, that's the goal. Hold it as long as you can and come back to it. Once you stretched for a while, holding it as long as you can, then for example, you stand up and relax a little bit and move your legs and arms around a bit, then go back to it. Revisit the stretch 2-3 times. You'll find that it gets easier and easier and less painful. And that is real conditioning. Remember, try to keep your foot that's taking the weight flat. You really need to perform the tiger stance correctly. Your rear heel needs to be flat on the ground, and the balance needs to be between the toes and the heel equally. So that is tiger stance stretch. And I'm just reposturing, keeping the spine as straight up and down as possible and getting as low as you can, and hold. Stand up, turn the toes out, then sit down on it again, keeping the spine straight up and down. This is the opening for the actual stance exercise. Arm goes right over the leg line, goes all the way back, then turns into a hook and turns up. I apologize for the blurriness. I'll attempt to remake these videos again in the future. There we go. The hook hand is when the thumb and all the fingers connect. It connects all the acupuncture points in the fingers and the meridians. See the hook behind me? I'm twisting my body forward. The goal is to keep the spine as straight up and down as possible while going as low as possible. You want your thighs to rest on your calves. In the palm position, and this one's a little different, I'm holding what's called a willow leaf palm. The fingers are splayed with the index finger in the front, and then right underneath that, the middle finger, and then the ring finger, and then the pinky. The thumb is tucked in tight to the side of the palm and is bent. This is a palm used in Shaolin Kung Fu. Open the palm, set into the willow leaf posture. That's the piercing palm. See how the arm passes right over the leg? And once it goes all the way far back as it can, you roll the shoulder and make the hook. Allow the hook to spin upwards. See how the hook is pointing up? This is how you do it. Open the palm, watch the palm, make a big circle, do the piercing palm with the other one, roll into the temple block, and sit down to the tiger and hook. Basically, I go down to a high tiger when the arm is over the leg, and then as I'm sinking to the tiger stance, I roll the shoulder, do the hook, and bring that rear arm back behind the body as tight as you can, working those back muscles. This develops power for the single leg squats. And there's even tougher tiger stretch exercises that you'll learn later when you have finished with this step. I know this is very challenging for a lot of people, but do your best. This tiger stance is used in pretty much every form in the Tai Chi, Bagua, Xingyi, and Shaolin that I instruct in the Kwok family lineage. So it is very, very important. Having a good tiger stance is a measure of martial ability. This is the beginning of the lotus stance exercise. When I kick the leg behind me, it's going at a 45-degree back behind the heel line, and the knee goes to the outside of the heel and sits down. But it does not touch the ground. It stays about an inch off the ground and an inch behind the other heel, and that is very important. Do not make the stance too wide. You need to have the stance to be tight, using the front leg to bear the weight, to bear most of the weight, that is. And this also develops very strong quads. The rear heel needs to be pointed upwards. So basically, the movement starts like this. I set up, setting the foot behind me, and then sink, and the top hand rolls up. It's kind of like the temple block, but it's above the head. Set up and sink and press up. Set up part two, and then sink and press up. And you twist. You want to look over the leg, twisting your body very far, and the arm that's wrapped around your chest stretches your body to twist. And notice the spine is straight up and down. Notice I'm not sticking my butt out. I'm tucking the tailbone under, as well as all the other postures as much as possible. The only postures where it's not possible are the high rooster stance exercise you're going to learn here in a moment, the lotus stance exercise that we did earlier, and the bow and arrow stance exercise. All the others allow you to tuck your tailbone under. This is the high rooster stance exercise. Notice opposite knee to hand coordination. The wrist is bent at that point and just lightly touches the knee. This is one method. There's two methods for practicing this. Notice the foot. It makes a small circle before it lifts up. See that small circle? Passes the center line. Here it is from the side view. Notice how the arms cross. The fist crosses at the distance of the elbow. So the front fist passes right by the elbow, with about a foot's distance in between. You walk forward and backwards. Once you straighten the leg, you straighten it all the way till it's totally straight, and that forces you to bend your lumbar curve in the back. But up until that point, you want it tucked under. This is the other way to do the high rooster stance exercise. It shifts into a high tiger stance. Then you swing the leg and lift. Notice the knee is not center line, it's actually over by my opposite hip. So it's very tight across the body. This is to protect the groin area.